We all fall short of the glory of God. I would like to begin this with a story. I was preparing the men's breakfast meeting, which is a meeting that happens once a month where men come together. We cook breakfast, delicious eggs, by the way, and of course, we have a lesson prepared with our fellowship that night, or that morning, sorry. And I was asked to bring this lesson, and I found it hard to write the lesson because I felt a sense of worthiness. This worthiness stoked because I believed that I had to live by my own merit in a godly manner, and in that way, I wasn't really much better than the Pharisees, because I never really meant it in my heart. And not only that, but I could definitely see later on that I wasn't worthy, because again, I fall short of the glory of God. I commit sins just as anyone else. And in realizing that, I realized that I needed Jesus. And I had come to the conclusion that I had never actually accepted Jesus completely. Sure, I let him be a figure that reigned over in my life, but I never let him have my heart. And if there is anything that Christianity is, it is a religion of the heart. It's about what's in here. I was too focused on myself when writing that lesson that I kept revealing what was on my heart and not what was on God's heart. And I came to that conclusion that I wasn't worthy. And the only one that was worthy was Jesus. He was worthy of being lifted up from the angels and brought to heaven and not facing death. Yet he chose to stay on the cross and die for you and me. And that brings me to Matthew chapter 8, where we see a Roman centurion approach Jesus in verse 5, where I'll begin. See, Jesus has entered Capernaum. Capernaum is a town in the Roman Empire at this time. The Roman centurion is asking for healing for his servant, who is laying paralyzed at home. Now, Jesus, out of his gracious heart, agrees for the Roman centurion that he will heal his servant. He says, "Take me to him, and I will heal him." And we see that the centurion denies him and says, "I am unworthy to have you come underneath my roof." And goes on to say that only say a word, and my servant will be healed. The Roman centurion had an understanding Jesus' power and authority over him. He came to know this, as we see in verse 9, "For I too am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I say to one, come, and he comes. And I say to one, go, and he goes. And do, and my servant does." So the centurion took an understanding that if this is my authority, how much greater is the authority of the Son of God? How much greater is the authority of Jesus Christ himself? Jesus marvels at this in the next verse, verse 10. He astounded Jesus with this. Jesus was rejected by his own people. The Pharisees were plotting to kill him on many occasions. His own people that would have been shown much grace from the God at this time. It was chosen people. But a Roman Gentile was able to display a faith in Jesus and his authority. Jesus goes on to say, "Truly I say to you, I did not even find such faith in Israel." And that how much of a saddening fact that must have been for Jesus to accept. We are like the centurion. We are unworthy. The centurion knew that. I had to come to know that. We all need to know that. We need Jesus. We need his sacrifice. We need his cleansing blood. Because we aren't enough. He was. God sent his son for us because he loved us. And that's enough for me. And that should be enough for anyone. We aren't saved because we're worthy. We're saved because God loved us.